Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 470. Thunder technique. Shaoyan, the elder who was walking in front of them, was the vice elder of the Elixir Association. When he saw Shaoyan, he couldn't help but be startled. He waved his hand to dismiss all the guards outside the hall and said in a suspicious tone, "Were you the one making noise just now?" Shaoyan didn't answer. His cold eyes swept across all the elders behind Elder Yi, but he didn't see Weitong. He said in a cold voice, "Elder Yi, where is Weitong?" Upon hearing this, not only the other elders, but also Elder Yi frowned. Shaoyan's actions were really disrespectful. Although the latter was a saint rank trial participant, his status was comparable to a second-grade elder. No matter what, he was still just a student. He had looked down on many elders and had called them by the names. This was a huge crime. "Shaoyan, you can't call them by the names." Behind Elder Yi, an old man who was quite old could not help but criticize. He had been in the academy for such a long time and could not bear to see these traitorous students. "That's right, even if you represent the academy and participate in the 4 academies competition, you won't be the only one who can achieve good results. Young people shouldn't be too arrogant. All the elders are very busy, so it's inappropriate for you to shout and shout here." On the side, a fat old man stroked his beard with an unhappy expression. In their point of view, even if Shaoyan was a saint rank trial participant, he was still the weakest among the 5 of them. He had yet to reach the position where all the elders had to smile at Mahuyang. "Hurry up and leave. It's not because you are a saint rank trial participant that I can't help but teach you a lesson." A black-robed middle-aged man beside Elder Yi waved his sleeve. His face was gloomy. His name was Yang Lin, and he originally thought highly of Lu Xiangyang. However, because of Shaoyan, Lu Xiangyang was impeached by all the captains. Although he was still a commander, he no longer had any real power. It wasn't easy for him to nurture his student, and now he was being treated in such a way. Naturally, he didn't like Shaoyan. "Stop talking." Elder Yi had already keenly sensed the fury in Shaoyan's heart. Hearing the words of 2 or 3 people behind him, he raised his eyebrows and shouted. Swoosh! At the same time that Elder Yi shouted, Shaoyan's eyes had already turned red, and his fury had completely submerged his rationality. He wasn't here to listen to these bastards blabber on. "Shaoyan, stop!" Elder Yi's voice had just sounded when he saw Shaoyan transform into a ray of light. The white tiger behind him pounced forward and pounced toward Yang Lin. In an instant, it had already arrived in front of the latter. Without waiting for Elder Yi to call out, Shaoyan's 2 fists merged into one and smashed down without the slightest hesitation. "Bastard! How dare you attack an elder?" Seeing that Shaoyan had actually attacked him, Yang Lin was not angry. Instead, he was happy. A cold look flashed across his eyes. This was the perfect time to deal with this guy and let Lu Xiangyang out a sigh of relief. As he was thinking about this, Yang Lin shouted out in a righteous manner. 5 Origin Kiss rose from his 5 claws and flew towards Shaoyan's fist. Ka! A ferocious explosion sounded out. All the elders retreated one after another. They looked at the center of the dust cloud in shock. None of them had expected that Shaoyan would dare to attack an elder of punishment department. Even Mahuyang, Lin Dao, and the others didn't dare to act so arrogantly in public. "Shaoyan, Yang Lin, stop. Elder Yi, don't attack. This kid has a bad heart and doesn't know how to educate him. He views the rules of the Yunlo as nothing. He dares to do such a disrespectful thing with the identity of saint rank trial participant. Today, I will teach him a good lesson." Yang Lin's voice suddenly rang out, filled with righteousness and righteousness. It caused Elder Yi to be at a loss for words for a moment, and he was actually unable to speak. "Ha ha ha ha, Yang Lin, right. Today, I don't know how to educate you anymore. I would like to see what Suxiang can do to me even if I kill you." He took a few steps back. With a sway of his shoulder, he dispelled Yang Lin's force. Shaoyan's face twisted into a vicious expression, and a wild smile appeared on his face. This time, this fellow called Yang Lin had completely provoked him. This is outrageous. I will bring you to see Elder Su now. I will let him see that this kind of immoral person can actually enter the realm in Valley. Yang Lin's voice was gloomy as he spoke in a strange tone. Boom! Xiaoyan merely sneered. The monic flame within his body circulated, and the monic flame secret skill was instantly unleashed. Flames surged around his body, and his strength rose layer by layer like a rocket. In an instant, he had reached the level of 5 monic emperors. As I expected, you have a secret technique to increase your strength. However, don't think that you can be arrogant just because you have fought with the geniuses of the 4 courtyards. You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. When Yang Lin saw this, he raised his eyebrows slightly, and then smiled disdainfully. Although he was a second-grade elder, his strength had already stopped at the peak of Monic Emperor. After so many years, if it was Ma Huyang, he might still be slightly afraid of a 5th Dao Monic Emperor student, but if it was Xiaoyan, he really wouldn't put him in his eyes. What a joke. I don't even need to use my full strength to deal with you. Xiaoyan's face was expressionless. He had yet to use the heavenly monic fire-burning body that cost him the most origin key, but there was no need for that. To deal with this kind of trash, using the monic flame secret skill had already given him a lot of respect. I would like to see how it goes. A cold light overflowed from Yang Lin's eyes. He suddenly stretched out his hand, and as the origin key howled, his 5 fingers bent into claws. The origin key on his 5 fingers vibrated like a long sword, emitting a frightening and sharp light. 5 Spirit's sword finger. Without the slightest hesitation, Yang Lin's feet moved in a strange manner. He also knew the latter's attention. At the same time, his 5 fingers suddenly shot out, as if they had transformed into 5 sharp swords. He slashed through the layers of space and rushed towards Xiaoyan. He urged all the origin kiss around him, trying to use the powerful origin kiss to extinguish Xiaoyan's monic flame. 5 sword beams lit up the entire hall. The power was shocking. It seemed like it wanted to kill the latter under the sharp sword. Swoosh! Xiaoyan's face was cold and gloomy. Cracks silently appeared on the surface of his body. At the same time, his body moved violently. A black flame suddenly appeared in his palm. The boundless origin key that was pressing down did not cause any damage to the black flame. Yang Lin's originally cold smile suddenly froze. Immediately, he saw that under the bombardment of the 5 sword lights, Xiaoyan had actually come face to face. He quickly waved his hand and a cluster of black flame in his hand swallowed all of the sword lights. In the blink of an eye, Xiaoyan had already arrived at a place that was not even a step away from him. How is this possible? How can he be safe and sound? Yang Lin's heart suddenly trembled. He didn't have time to be shocked, and was just about to make his move when Xiaoyan rushed forward and grabbed the collar of the former, pulling him over. At the same time, he raised his leg and ruthlessly kicked Yang Lin in the abdomen, sending the latter flying several meters away, crashing into a pillar in the hall. Just now, he had stopped in a sorry state. Woo! Yang Lin felt a bout of dizziness in his head. Before he could regain his senses, Xiaoyan had already charged forward once again. He lifted Yang Lin with one hand and furiously shouted. He once again smashed into the pillar not too far away. The force was so great that it even caused the pillar to tremble slightly. Pooh! Even with the protection of the origin key, the enormous force still caused Yang Lin to spit out a mouthful of blood. Before he could get up, he was once again lifted up by Xiaoyan. This time, it was not his collar, but his neck. Woo! Woo! Yang Lin's face turned purple. His expression was that of extreme shock. When Xiaoyan raised him up high, he felt as if he was being suffocated, causing him to feel endless pain. He howled. His 4 limbs moved weakly, but Xiaoyan's face was dark and cold. He did not move at all, but the strength in his hands was getting stronger and stronger. Xiaoyan, stop. If you kill him, you will be finished. Elder Yi's face was filled with fear. How could he not have imagined that Yang Lin, as a peak of monarch emperor, would be so easily defeated by Xiaoyan? This was simply unimaginable, until he heard Yang Lin's miserable cry. Only now did he regain his senses. He spoke urgently, but he didn't dare to step forward to stop Xiaoyan. I have already said it earlier. Kill him. I would like to see what Su Xiang can do to me. Xiaoyan sneered. He remained unmoved. A cold light flickered in his eyes. He was about to pinch Xiaoyan to death. Wait a minute. Didn't you want to find Weitong? I'll go and find him for you right away. At this critical moment, Elder Yi was sweating profusely as he roared. Unknowingly, his voice trembled slightly. Dong! Yang Lin's 5 fingers loosened and he powerlessly fell to the ground, unconscious. Xiaoyan did not even look at the former. He turned to look at Elder Yi, his eyes filled with killing intent. All right, if he is there, I will kill him, or I will kill him. It doesn't matter. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.